During the Russian-Persian Wars, which began in 1826, Armenians were struggling against the Persians under the command of Armenian General Matadov, and by the active involvement of the Catholicos Nerses Ashtaraketsi. In September 25, 1827, Yerevan was besieged by the Russian Legion under the command of Krasovsky and finally fell on October 1st. By the capture of Yerevan, the victor of the Russian-Persian War was the Russian Empire, and the two sides signed a treaty on February 10, 1828, at the Turkmencha village. By this treaty, eastern Armenia was passed on to the Russian Empire. Armenians were allowed to immigrate to Russian Armenia, and the Arax River became the border between the two countries. In 1828, Russia started to wage wars against Turkey and successfully captured Akhaltsikha, Ardahan, Bayazid, Alashkert, Anaban, Sukhumi, and Poti. And in 1829, Erzurum, then Derjan, Khanous, and Mush. Armenians were also participating in these wars. Russia consolidated its position at the Black Sea, especially after the capture of Akhalkala and Akhaltsikha. In 1829, Russia and Turkey signed a peace treaty in Adrianople, by which, under the pressure exerted by the West, Russia conceded some of the occupied lands to Turkey. According to this treaty, Armenians were allowed to immigrate from Turkish-occupied lands to eastern Armenia. Consequently, 10,000 Armenians immigrated to Javakh, Gavar, and Shirak. In the 19th century, Armenians in western Armenia, specifically in Constantinople, had a very active social and political life. Influenced by the French culture and the democratic ideologies, Armenians started a campaign for freedom. Prominent figures of this movement were the liberals Otian, Rusinian, and Vicinian, and the radical Democrats Savajian, Panosian, and others. They formulated what was called National Constitution in 1863, which defined some reforms for the Armenians living in the Ottoman Empire. However, neither the reforms of the Ottoman Empire nor the National Constitution of the Armenians improved the life of the Armenians. On the contrary, in the middle of the 19th century, the confiscations of property and the suppression of nationalistic ideas were even more intensified. Zeytun, with a population of 30,000 to 35,000 Armenians, due to its strategically advantageous position, was enjoying semi-autonomy. In 1862, there was a territorial dispute between the Armenians and the Turks. Aziz Pasha of Marash marched on Zeytun with an army of 10,000, but failed to overcome the Armenians. The battles continued until the intervention of Patriarch of Constantinople and the French ambassador. The Turkish side resigned from any future attempts to capture Zeytun, and in return, the Armenians of Zeytun had to pay taxes on a regular basis. Soon the Russian-Turkish wars began again. Under the disguise of saving the Christians from the Turkish rule, Russia's political intentions were to conquer the canals, western Armenia, and reestablish Russia's international strategic position. Armenians were fighting along the Russians, believing in their guise as a protector of Christians. Many Armenians were at the ranks of generals in the Russian army, like General Loris Melikov, Tergugasyan, Lazarev, Shilkonvikov, Alkhazov, and others. The Russian army under their command captured Bayazet, Alashkert, and famous fortress of Kars. In February 1878, Russia entered Erzurum after being victorious in the Balkans. Turkey was forced to ask for peace. In San Stephanos, a treaty was signed by which Kars was appended to Russia. which was in effect for 40 years. According to Article 16 of this treaty, Turkey was forced to make some reforms in western Armenia and protect the Armenians from the Kurds and the Circassians. The superpowers of the time were wary of Russia's new strategic and political position. Another international congress was held in 1878 in Berlin. Armenians participated in this conference with a delegation headed by the Catholicos Mkirtich Hrinian to present the Armenian issue. However, this meeting ended in favor of Turkey. The 16th article was changed to 61, and the responsibility of Russia to observe the implementation of reforms in western Armenia was given to the European superpowers. The Congress asked for the immediate withdrawal of the Russian forces from western Armenia, which had dire consequences for Armenians. The European countries failed to protect the rights of Armenians in western Armenia, since they were occupied by their own political disputes. Turkey took advantage of the situation and, giving the Armenian Movement of Freedom as an excuse, gave a Turkish solution to the Armenian issue and started organizing small massacres of Armenians and forcible deportation of people from their land. Sultan Hamid II introduced Zulum regime, which prohibited demonstrations, closed Armenian schools and papers, and forbade even the utterance of word Armenia, revolution, and freedom. He created small chivalry that had the power to persecute the non-believers and traitors, that is, Armenians. In the 1880s, the Turkish jails were full of Armenians who were suspected to be involved in the freedom movement. This provoked the Armenian population and brought about the nationalistic struggles of the Armenian freedom fighters like Arabo Galust Arkhanian, Ruben Shishmanian, Hovannes Minasyan, and Gevorg Chavush. At the end of the 19th century, freedom movements of the Western Armenians became more established by the formation of political parties, Armenakan, Hınçakyan, and Dashnaksuchun Armenian Revolutionary Party, ARF. The Armenakan Party was founded in Van in 1885 by Mkirtich Avetisyan. The name of the party came about from the official organ of the party called Armenia, which was founded by Mkirtich Portugalian in Marseille. The goal of this party was to unify the Armenian nation, educate the public militarily, raise funds to find means for self-defense, and seize the right moment to rebel and free Armenia. This party was short-lived. After the tragic events of 1894 to 1896, the party suffered great losses, became less active, and played an insignificant role in the political life of Armenians. In 1887, the Hınçakyan Party was formed in Geneva by a group of Armenian students and Aved Nazarbekyan as their leader. The official organ of the party was Hınçak. Their immediate goal was to free Western Armenia, and long-term goal was to instill socialist rule in Armenia. In 1890 in Tbilisi, the Armenian Revolutionary Party was founded by Christopher Mikaelian, Simon Zavarian, Stepan Zoryan, and others. The purposes of this party was to obtain the political and economical freedom of Western Armenia. Their official organ was Troshag. In time, this party became the strongest party, enjoying great popularity and political power, and took on the responsibility of defending the Armenian cause, which was the recognition of the Armenian genocide and return of the Armenian lands from Turkey. The three political parties, despite the minor differences in their ideologies, were trying to divert the attention of European countries to the Armenian cause. By 1890, the bloodthirsty Sultan Hamid II intensified his bloody campaigns against Armenians. 40 villages of Sasun region were demolished and the people sacked after defending their homeland with their courageous freedom fighter Murad. In 1895 to 1896, massacres were carried out in Constantinople, Erzurum, Trabzon, Van, Kharpet, Aleppo, and other regions. The Kurdish and Circassian warlords were also participating in these brutal actions, ravaging women, killing children and the elderly, and hanging people from their trees. In total, 300,000 Armenians were killed. Anatole France, Jean-Georges, Maxime Gorky, and others raised complaints protecting the rights of Armenians. Many regions in western Armenia learned from the surprise massacres and started to defend themselves like people of Zeytun and Van. The event in Van had a tragic end, as some thousand freedom fighters ran out of ammunition and tried to cross the Iranian border. The Mazrik Kurdish tribes attacked and annihilated all of them. A year later, the Armenian Revolutionary Party organized the Battle of Khanasor and taught the Kurdish tribes a good lesson. During the period of 1864 to 1896, the army of the Ottoman Empire, the Kurdish Hamid troops, and the barbaric Turkish and Kurdish hordes killed 300,000 Armenians, 100,000 converted to Islam by force, and some 100,000 fled to Russia and other